Myself, Stephy baby from St. Thomas College, Trishul, first year graduate, pursuing BA English and History, double main.
So, what do you want to say to Gadha?
From your introductory speech and experience, I could conclude that you are not just a fighter but a warrior too. Let's rock, Cochin.
Oh wow, that's amazing! Thank you so much, and after you.
Good morning, I'm Gadha Prasannan, a literature student from Little Flower College, Guruvayur, and I negate the notion.
Alright, okay, so what do you want to say to Stephy?
Stephy, I wish that we have a sensible conversation without having to accuse each other for the millions and thousands of murders that were committed on the name of protest.
Thank you so much. Can you a big round of applause for both absolutely lovely ladies and for the motion? Your time starts right now, right here.
Our former president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam once said, "Do not declare a holiday on my death. Instead, work for an extra day if you love me." Because he was so concerned about the progress of our nation. But in the same country, in Kerala, we had to face 120 hartals in 2017 and 98 hartals in 2018. Happy New Year, everyone. God knows what number they will hit this year. When shutdowns are imposed and enforced violently and frequently, it involves a huge economic loss in the public and the private sector. It was a Herculean task to bring back the tourism sector to normal after the flood, and now that the mainstay of the Kerala economy is bleeding due to the unmindful hartals and has lost its reputation internationally. The globally discussed Kerala model of health and education is deteriorating in an alarming rate, since it has to face more number of non-working days than working days in a year. The government's fund that has to be spent for the welfare of the common people is...
The time up against the motion. Your 1 minute starts now.
Democracy is not about regular multi-party elections where the elite compete at the ballot box. It begins with ordinary person, and it is what we achieve through protest. With the first wave of protest, we achieved an insight, and with the second wave of it, we got liberation, and with the third, we are transforming the democracy into a rule of ordinary people. And now the New York Times called our period the age of transnational ideas and narratives that can alternate the allegiances and affect the behavior. And it is true that neoconservatism has got us upside down, but logic and truth can really topple that. And it is not an unknown fact that we are not building on an utopia either. And now I think I'm ready to challenge the way you conceive democracy.
Thank you so much. Now we have 3 minutes for the debate, and timer, are you ready? Yeah, here we go. Your time starts now.
My dear opponent, a state's progress is always directly linked with the personal progress of every citizen of that state. What minimum progress or development can you expect from a daily wage worker who had to face 182 working days and the rest 183 were non-working days as of 2018, including the Sundays, second Saturdays and all the holidays, and of course the hartals?
When I talk about hartals or protests, I analyze it in a global way. Hartal or protest is just a human instinct, and there is nothing unnatural about it, and it is not exceptional. So hartal is a way through which we protest against what makes us uncomfortable, and that is a human instinct. And coming to the topic about development, we are competing with our colonial forefathers, and that doesn't mean development. Actions or activism cannot turn into terrorism when there is a material loss.
Whether you agree with this hartal or not is not the matter. Article 19 of the Constitution, freedom to speech and expression, of course is in agreement with hartal. But this hartal, which is carried out in this particular way in the recent days, are in direct contradiction with Article 21 of the Constitution, which says about right to life and personal liberty.
None of the rights can ever be protested with the right to protest, and this protest is not something that is unlawful, and there is a requirement to understand the difference between protest and riot, and this is what you assumed of protest might make you mistake it for riot, and that right might be unlawful, but protest is something that is a strong political affirmation of an objection.
So my dear friend, who will answer for all the non-violence that is being carried out in the hartals in the recent days? The politicians, of course, will not answer for this verbally, but their actions are always through the fear, the terror that they unleash in the streets, and what they make the streets the slaughterhouse. And Asna, who is a victim of hartals lost her 2 legs in the boat.
May I interrupt? Kindly make sure you stick on to the topic. Yes, please.
Okay. I think it's none of my business to answer your queries, and I am not going to be held responsible for the murders that has been committed on the name of Hartal, just as I told. And coming to talk of it, you have to actually consider what is the idea behind protest. And protest, just like I told, is a space from which a new political imagination can arise. What you conceive to be barbaric right now can be uncivilized some few years later.
So what progress has been brought through the 7 Hartals that has been conducted in the name of Sabarimala? It was not just 1 or 2, but 7 Hartals in the name of Sabarimala. And there was a huge protest and hike against the petrol price. What happened? The petrol price only decreased because there was an international affair.
Okay, now I think that you're trying to turn this into a question-answer section. I'm not going to entertain that, but I have to say that when you're talking about the progress, you're actually, I have to complete this, you're actually talking about...
time up, I'm sorry for that, your time up. And now we have 30 seconds again for to conclude your statements, your time up. And for the motion, your 30 seconds for the conclusion starts right now.
From the forward discussion, I believe that I was successful in stating that Hartals are a hindrance to the progress of the state in all aspects, politically, socially and economically. If once the world says that Kerala is not at all a progressive state, then please do not blame the flood, but it is due to the man-made disaster Hartals. So Hartals has to be caught from the society because it is totally outdated and is not suitable for this democratic setup.
Thank you so much. Now, against the motion, you have 30 seconds to conclude the statement. Right, starts right now.
It wouldn't be existentialist of me to say that what we have with the problem is that it is not our problem with the law, it is a problem with our abundance of a freedom. And I think legislation can actually topple that. And I cannot deny the fact that I actually accept the ideas that Stephy shared, and I think legislation can topple that. And protest is not something that should be taught from the school, it is something that you learn as you grow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies. Kindly come forward and shake your hands. Can I have a big round of applause for them? Thank you.